Okay, Mr. Old Miser here. What I'm going to do is try to show you how I tie a loop to. I've got my coil of 1842, and what I do is I pull off some and I pre-stretch everything. Now I don't cut a whole length of my tubing right away. I'll take and tie my loop first and then measure down my 5 inches. And then add about another 1.5 to 2 inches before I cut it off. That way it'll give me enough for my pouch. But what I have is a scrap piece of tubing, and I'll show you how I do it. What I've got is some party animal balloons, the one they make little animals from. And what I do is take and give it a stretch, and then I take and I cut the whole balloon right up the whole length. That's going to give me 2 nice long pieces. Then I take one of the long pieces and cut it in half, and that'll give me a nice tie wrap, just like this here. I've tried using cotton thread. I've tried using butcher's twine. I've used nylon. Thread cord. I've tried to use some ties for TheraBand, and I've found that this latex, for me, balloons work the best. Now I've got a length of tubing here. Let's just figure we're going to have about 3-inch loop, so I just, fold that over. Leave a pretty good tail, and you clamp that right in your, come on, every time I want to do this, I have an issue. Just get the tube right on top of the other tube, clamp it, adjust it. Yeah, this little jig I made, I picked up a wood clamp, as you can see, and a few toggle clamps. Now I got that tight. Now what I'm going to do is stretch it. And now I take my tie wrap and I pull it and I hold this over here tight. And then what I do is hold it with my finger. And what you do is pull this as tight as it'll go till you get resistance. You just keep wrapping it towards the other end where you clamp it. And I just pull it tight, and I just keep pulling it tight. Now I don't know, I probably do it good 8 wraps. Okay, then I wrap it back. I come back towards my loop. Come on. Now I got 2 tails. I take and wet my finger with a little spit. Take, and I guess they call that an overhand knot. I go through the loop, pull it tight. Now you got to be careful when you're pulling it, because you can break it, and I have broken many a tie in the band, and I have to start over. All right, come on. The stuff's wet. Stuff's wet on me. Plus my arthritis tonight don't help. All right, now it's tight. And as you can see, one end broke. And what I'll do is I'll just take and snip that tail off. And you give this a pull. You just pull it. Now I can pull that super tight, and it will not stretch one bit. I've never had a band slip on me when I've used these balloon ties. Now, what I do is I measure, you can trim this tail up, there you go. trimmed it up. Now what I do is measure down my 5 inches and allow another like 2 inches because I'm still on my roll. So I figure about, maybe 7.5, 8 inches. Cut it off my roll. Now, remeasure to make sure I got 5 inches. Make a little mark on my tube. Put this through your pouch. Bend that over in your pouch. Clamp it. Clamp it in. Clamp it in the same way. Clamp your folded end. When you got your pouch, clamp it as tight to the pouch as you can get it. Stretch. Take and get it stretched out. And take and start. What I do is start my end over here by the pouch and just wrap it towards the other open end, and wrap it back, cut it off, and pull it. It will not slip on you. I've made about 20 loop tubes already, and I've never had one slip. When I've used string with a constrictor knot, overhand knot, I meant to say thread, every single one of them slid on me. And then since I've gone to party balloons, because they're made out of latex, hey, you can buy a bag of them. 350 balloons for like $5. That'll give you a lot of ties. Okay, that's the best I can do.